Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'll show you how to calculate your maximum mortgage amount for Dubai property investment. We've developed a really simple, quick to use calculator that will help you calculate your mortgage eligibility in one simple place without having to reach out to mortgage brokers and banks directly. Also, we'll show you what factors influence the loan amount, how much down payment will be required, and what your monthly repayments will typically be as well. So the idea here is to have a simple calculator where you only need to enter 3 bits of data, and that is simply your income and your fixed expenses in terms of loans. So that would be your salary, your current loan payments, and your total credit card limit. Those are the 3 things we need to be able to tell you what your maximum loan amount would be. Now, propertyadvice.ae is not a brokerage of any kind. We simply provide free, useful calculators like this and many others to enable people to learn how to safely invest in Dubai real estate without any noise from real estate agents, brokers, and so on. If you want to access this sheet right now, you can do so by scanning the QR code over on the right, or visit propertyadvice.ae later to have a look at our useful guides and calculators. I'm going to jump into a live demo of the sheet now to show you how you can quickly estimate your maximum loan amounts, to show you how you can understand the results, and don't forget, we don't take any of your personal details in order to use this system. So I've just jumped into the live demo. Please remember that you would need to make a copy of this sheet in order to edit the figures, and all you need to edit is these 3 numbers here. So your salary, your total current loan payments, so that would include things like car loans and personal loans, and your total credit card limit. So even if you have 5 different credit cards, you need to add up the total card limits for all of them and put that as a single figure here. Once you've done that, you'll be greeted with your maximum amount possible in terms of loan amount, and of course the subsequent property price, because this loan amount would be typically 80% of the actual property value, and that would be the sale price, which in this case would be up to 800,000. So to run you through that again quickly, your salary goes here, your total current loan repayments per month go here, and your total credit card limit goes here. In this situation, let's say this is an example person, they would be able to receive a maximum loan amount of 640,000, which equates to a total property value of 800,000. Now, obviously, if we change these to say a higher salary, you can obviously get a higher loan amount as well. Now, how this is calculated, if you're wondering, is simply the banks here will divide your salary by 2. So in this case, it will be 12,500. Then we deduct your current commitments to other loans, so that will leave you with 10,500. And then we further reduct 5% of your total credit card limit. That leaves you with, in this case, 9,000 dirhams per month to be able to spend on new debt. So you will probably find your mortgage broker or loan brokers will often ask you to try and reduce your credit card limit, because that actually has a big effect on your loan eligibility. For example, in this situation, we can currently get a loan amount of up to 1.4 million, but if we simply reduce the credit card down to 10,000 dirhams a month, 10,000 dirhams total limit, I should say, that will give you a much bigger maximum loan amount and a property value of up to 2 million now. So if I revert this back to the simpler example, again, before this was 640, now it's 800,000. So yes, your total credit card limit makes a massive difference to your ability to get a loan. So that is what this first figure is in the extra details. That is how much money you can essentially spend on new debt if you are in this situation. Your mortgage down payment in this situation would be 200,000, because it's the difference of the purchase price versus the loan amount. So you'll have to give the bank this in order to access the loan up to a grand total of 1 million. However, don't forget there are a number of different fees to pay when you are buying property. So that includes DLD fees, agent fees, various registration fees, mortgage valuation, mortgage registration, etc. All of those fees have been conveniently calculated for you here based on these amounts. So in this case, it's about 80,000 dirhams in fees that you'll also need to add. So your true total upfront cost for this investment would be 280,000 roughly. So please note that in order to get this mortgage, not only do you need to make sure you fit the criteria, you would also need to have this much money up front in order to finance the property purchase. And finally, your monthly repayments. Well, for this mortgage, for example, a property value of 1 million and a loan amount of 800,000, your interest rate I've just kept at 4.2, which is relatively high these days, but just in case, your mortgage repayment over 25 years would be 4,312 dirhams per month. Now, if you are under 40, this will be just fine. You can still access a 25-year mortgage. If you're 45, then you'll only be able to access usually a 20-year mortgage, which brings up your mortgage repayment to, you repay your mortgage quicker essentially, but you do have to pay a bit more every month. Now, this is creeping up to your maximum eligibility per month, and that matters. So the older you get, the less years you're allowed to take your mortgage for, and therefore your monthly repayment, so if you were 50 years old, for example, is already in the red. That means it's higher than your eligibility, which means you wouldn't be eligible for this loan anymore. So this is just a reminder, it's actually worthwhile exploring getting a mortgage when you're a bit younger, because then you can find simpler, easier repayments and higher loan amounts possible. Now, no one really keeps their mortgage for 25 years, by the way, and it's absolutely fine to overpay your mortgage later with additional income or rental income or whatever. But it's worth remembering that your eligibility depends also on your age, not just your financial situation. So this is essentially it. We've covered how to quickly calculate your maximum loan amount possible, what goes into it to calculate this monthly eligibility, what would be your total upfront cost, and even your monthly repayment. Now, if the interest rates were to drop, or sometimes you might even find a better deal for your interest rate, that would essentially reduce your monthly repayment and in some cases can start to adjust your maximum loan amounts or number of years as well. It's a bit of a balancing act, all of this, but the first thing I would do is make sure you're aware of what your maximum loan amount is before bothering to go out and getting a pre-approval. If you are interested in accessing a great quality brokerage, I'll be putting some details in the video description, but in the meantime, feel free to reach out for property investment advice on our website, propertyadvice.ae, and let me know how you get on with this calculator. Thanks all, and I'll see you next time.